Okay, sorry guys.
5 seconds.
My
guys.
bad.
Lock in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Week 2 of Drive to the Game here on Sportscaster.com in partnership with WJR. It's Rochester and Rochester Adams doing battle here at Adams High School. Downtown Rochester is the place to be for high school football. My name is Giovanni Mosheri. So happy to have you with us. I am joined with a full table. Everyone is here for this rivalry matchup. I have to my right side, Gabe Loper. To the farther right, Taryn Fritching. And Rochester student guest to the broadcast, Harper Misch. All join us today on the broadcast, in addition to our student broadcasters up in the booth with WJR's Chris Renwick on the play-by-play. And to kick things off here, I want to go down the table here. We got great action ahead of us here. Harper, I want to start with you, especially with schools that are so close to each other. It's a 10-minute drive. I Googled it. So very familiar teams. They play every year, and you got great insight as far as how the student sections behave. There's going to be some wildness tonight.
Yes, there will be. Our student sections are so competitive. We are very competitive with either our themes, how much energy we have, or of course, who's winning. But I would say that the student sections are what honestly make the game alive, because I feel like if there wasn't a student section, it would kind of be sad. But our student section's theme tonight is Greek life, so we're wearing like togas and stuff like that. And then the students at Adams is welcome to our house, so I assume they're wearing frat boy stuff, but yeah. Yeah, it's so cool to see the student sections and their themes, because you can clearly see like the difference and also how much school spirit each school has and how much they're all able to just come together and support their teams.
That's one of the special things about high school sports is you being able to be a student. It's a different level of fandom. It's beyond fandom. It's who you are as a student of each school. So that energy is fantastic to have at the game here. And if you are new to Sportscaster.com and you're just stopping by, be sure to hit subscribe to here on YouTube. We got full video of the game as well. It's not just the radio broadcast, but that of television as well. So we got full footage of the game that you can watch right here on YouTube or on our website, sportscaster.com. More details on that to come here. But for Taryn, both these teams in the Oakland Activities Association, the OAA, both in different divisions, though. Adams in the OAA Red and Rochester in the OAA White. But this is still one of the most competitive conferences in Michigan high school sports. Both these teams come in a little bit different, though.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, if you guys were here with us last week, we covered one OAA Red team. However, we saw two. Adams plays in the OAA Red with not only Clarkston and Lake Orion, but West Bloomfield and Oxford. And wow, what a division to be a part of. I cannot even imagine that. And so Adams, I know that Adams the past few years, they've been kind of putting them down, but Adams has just kept coming on top. And that's what I think is just so interesting about how it's like, oh, you don't receive any first place votes, and then you come out on top. You make it to they won. Let's see my notes. They won district and regionals, and they lost to Hudsonville. We know that Hudsonville's great.
All the way in the state semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Rochester, on the other hand, plays in the OA White, so they play with Groves. We know that Groves is a absolute D2 powerhouse. Stony Creek, Harper Woods, Rochester, obviously the team that we're seeing right now, in Southfield A&T. So it's interesting to see how two different teams in the same city can just be in just completely different divisions. And I mean, hey, I think that all of Rochester is here, unless you're in Stony Creek for whatever reason. You're going to be at this game because it is an absolute amazing crosstown rivalry matchup here.
It's the main event tonight, and we cover many main events here on Sportscaster.com. The platform, it's the place to be to get your start if you're looking to get into sports broadcasting. If you want the headset across your mouth as well and to give your voice to the people that you know sports and to prove that you know sports, Sportscaster.com is your place to get started here. Go to our website, Sportscaster.com, make an account, and start making content. There is no better time than now. Sportscaster.com is your home for all things broadcasters here. And also with our partnership with WJR to make this broadcast possible, we have a fantastic staff helping us put this together. Like we mentioned before, WJR's Chris Renwick on the play-by-play, leading the show once we get towards kickoff in just a few minutes here. He will be joined by Rochester High School student Ethan Crow on the color commentary, as well as a member of Rochester Adams. That would be Charlie Donahoe, who will be up in the booth. And every game here at Drive to the Game have a student or more from each of the high schools competing to give them the opportunity to really feel and be a sportscaster. So we appreciate WJR for providing the opportunity to these students as well as sportscaster. And now to Gabe, you like more of the X's and O's things. You want to see, you want to know what the ball is going to be doing this game here. So give us a little warm up as to the teams we see here, how they play coming into this one, and what's the profile on each team?
Well, I mean, both these teams, they run very similar style of offense. They don't, they like to run the ball. They like to control the ball. They like the quick passing game, find those spots inside those zones, hit them, get down, move the chains, even if it takes 3 downs. Both these teams, they like to kind of chug away. They're not really big play teams. Now, here's the thing. Adams, they have big-time players.
Big time.
As a matter of fact, I talked to Drake Reed, one of the DBs coaches for Rochester, and their only goal, stop number 10. Kid, number 10, Rylan Waters. What? Was it Waters?
Rylan Waters.
Rylan Waters.
The Rhino, they call it.
Yes. This kid's a dog. And he, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and this is a big-time game. There's going to be some big-time plays because he is a big-time player. So they're going to try, that's going to be their goal. They're going to hone in on him. But, again, it's rivalry week.
Of course.
Early rivalry week, kind of see a little bit of who you are. Are you going to be in the race? But the biggest thing, again, keeping those emotions in check. Emotions can always override the X's and O's, especially in a rivalry game. I'm expecting to see some flare-ups from time to time, but outside of that, it's going to be a great one on the field and off the field, as we've learned.
Of course, and we hope it all stays within the rules. Polite competitiveness is the kind of vibe we go for here. And like we mentioned for Rochester, Rylan Waters, 4 touchdowns going through him in their game against Romeo, a 34-7 win over the Bulldogs, 2 through the air and 2 through the ground. And it's not just him running the offense; they got plenty of talent to go around. But on the Rochester side, 35-0 victory over Fraser. Harper, I mean, what better way to start the season than a shutout 35-0 win over the Fraser Ramblers?
Oh, yeah. That was just so exciting for us and crazy, I would say. We for sure weren't expecting it, but it was just so exciting.
No doubt about it. And a little bit of a fun fact about each of these schools here. Doing some research at Rochester High School, Taryn, I don't know if you found this out, but their dance team were the DTU national champions.
No way. I did not know that.
National championship dance team for the Rochester Falcons here. So when you see them at the pom-poms on the sideline, know that there is national talent there. And it's great to see. Now we go over towards the Rochester Adams side. Their boys soccer team are the reigning state champions. It's not just football that both these schools excel in. Their whole athletic department are those that breed success.
Yeah, Adams has been great for years, especially with myself being a Troy Athens student. I play Athens every single year, no matter if it's basketball, obviously soccer. With Athens was the 2023 state champions, and then Adams. So the OA is keeping the soccer in check. I do have to say that.
Absolutely. Soccer is one of the mainstays here in the OAA Red here. In just a few minutes towards kickoff here, I want to take you guys to a little bit, into the scenery here. We got full stands here on both sides. As the game goes on, it'll become even fuller. This is the main event here in Rochester, and as the bands make their way off the field here, the national anthem has been set and captains are getting set to meet at midfield. Once again, be sure to subscribe to us on sportscaster.com here on YouTube. Once again, we'll have full video of the broadcast here, so if you want to stay with us here on YouTube or hop over to sportscaster.com, you'll get the full view of the game. And once kickoff starts, we'll be kicking it off to our WJR feed as well. So whether you want to watch, whether you want to listen, we got you covered here on Drive to the Game. So final thoughts before we go into this game. We'll go down the table quickly, some predictions going into this game. What are we going to expect to see on the scoreboard by the end of it? Harper, we'll start with you.
Oh, gosh. I think that I don't know. I honestly think that it might be a close game because Rochester has been practicing a lot, and every year they come out with a new bang that we'd never see before. So I think it will be a close game. I don't really know what the score will be, but
no problem. Hey, we'll take winners across the board.
Oh yeah, either or. I will be happy for both teams.
I think I gotta note this. Adams has not let Rochester score on them in 2 years, and I think that's pretty significant to this game. I will say I do think that Rochester can kind of break that, but I think that it's going to be a 35-7 victory. Adams over Rochester.
Adams has the size. Rochester does not. It'll be a close game to start. Give me Adams 49-0.
And it'll be Adams for me as well as we kick it off to Chris Renwick in the booth with our student broadcasters. We'll see you on WJR. Stick right with us on YouTube.
To the game on 760 WJR, sponsored by the
Sorry,
National
guys.
Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and Window World Detroit. Now here's your hometown football host, Chris Renwick.
Welcome in. It is our Friday night drive to the game coverage brought to you by sportscaster.com. And we got a good one for you tonight. It's a rivalry game early in the season. Rochester Adams and Rochester getting after it, opening kickoff. It was a short one, just popped right up, fielded by the Highlanders, and they'll start things off at their own 35-yard line. And this offense starts and ends with Rylan Waters, a Ferris State commit. A southpaw who can really sling the ball, has great command of the offense, and we start things off. He's going to throw it. Pulls it from the running back and then tries to go over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Jesse Jadis, but that one falls incomplete, and it's going to be second down. Brings up a good moment to talk about my friends in the booth tonight. Charlie Donahoe is a sophomore at Rochester Adams and joins me. It's good to see you, Charlie. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is a great night for football, isn't it? Big week, rivalry week. It's got to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game.
Also, Ethan Crow with us, the senior from Rochester. You're on the road this week, hostile territory. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to do this tonight.
Yeah, and these are two really good football teams, and you never want to overlook a game of this caliber. What this means early in the season is there's a Rochester player down on that last drive. He's getting tended to. But this is an early test for both of these teams. And certainly when you talk about what the future has for both of these squads, there certainly is a lot on the line. That's Devin Grabke, who was slow to get up. He is walking off under his own power, so that's good to see. So it's going to be second down here for the Highlanders. And, you know, when you look at what Rylan Waters is able to do, just very composed, right? Has great command of this offense, and they'll do a lot of different things. Love to run the football, but they have incorporated more of this spread approach to this offense, certainly over the years. And what Waters brings them is some versatility that gives them that opportunity. So 2nd and 10 here from their own 35-yard line. They send two receivers out right, ball far hash mark. They're moving left to right. They settle in. Waters motions his running back to the backfield. That's Lorenzo Sarter. They're going to give it to him. A little bit of a hole, dragging a couple of Falcons along the way. It's a gritty run of 4 out to the 39-yard line before he's hauled down. So that brings up an early, important 3rd and 6 here, but that's some good blocking on that right side. And this is what the Highlanders do pretty well, is they never get too far ahead of themselves. They don't get over their skis. Very composed out here on offense. Dealing with a little bit of sun where they're at on the field right now as they look over to the sideline to get the call from the coaching staff. 3rd and 6 from the 39. They settle in. Rylan Waters sends a man in motion, right to left, fakes little shovel pass inside, got a man out across the 40 to the 42. It's only a gain of 3, so that's going to be well short of the first down. They needed another 3 out to the 45, and that's not going to be enough. So an early decision here for Tony Petrito, the head coach of the Highlanders. You got to feel pretty good how that worked out here defensively in this first drive so far.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to my friend Caden Webb in school today, and he was saying on defense, they've really kept a calm head and really try to focus in and really get in the matchups this week.
All right, so they're going for it on 4th down at their own 42-yard line. They're going to check with the sideline once again. Again, some issues for Rylan Waters and the offense out near midfield with the sun. The bench is in the shade, but they're in the sun. Here's the snap. Here's the give, trying the right side with some space. Out across the 50 to the 45, still on his feet at the 30. Trying to get inside, cuts inside at the 15, and then taken down shy of the 10-yard line. Big gainer there for Jesse Jottis, and the Highlanders are in business. It was a nice run there. All right, so that gives a little bit of buzz to the crowd here. And so now, well, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds, so they're going to move the ball back to the 29-yard line. Didn't hear the whistle on that run. He was getting very close to the sideline, so they're going to say he stepped out at the 29-yard line. That's where the Highlanders will do business. It's 1st and 10 from there. Waters takes. Fakes. He's going to keep it around the right side. Got a block. Still on his feet at the 10-yard line and then taken down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And he is just a load up front. If he gets ahead of steam, look out for what Ryland Waters is bringing.
It's going to be hard to stop him tonight. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. I mean, he can run the ball good.
And just a very patient run there. He decided to pull it on the option give. Had a blocker out in front. That was Nolan Ferris. And just followed his block till he was able to turn on the jets and able to get up for a big gain. So now it's 1st and goal from the 8. 9:15 to play here in the opening quarter. Rochester Adams looking for points here early, and we've got a whistle. The Highlanders want to talk it over. It looked like there was a little bit of confusion there, personnel-wise, and what the setup was, so they're going to get that looked at. Meanwhile, the Falcons giving up that big play. You got to move past it, right? You got to move on right away and get to the next play at hand.
100%. It's the memory of a goldfish right there. You know, as a lacrosse goalie, I'm always thinking next play, next save. You know, that's what we need to do here tonight on defense. Just think next play, next one, next tackle, and we'll hopefully that'll work for us and we'll have a good game.
But realistically, how difficult is that? It's easy for us to sit up here in the booth and say, it's next play mentality, but that's a really difficult thing to grasp, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, you always have that voice in the back of your head. You know, could I have done better? What could I have done different? It's just you got to find that ability to stop that and just think, all right, you know, I know what I'm doing. I have the mechanics down. I've been playing the sport my whole life.
And now it's time to get after it. Yeah, certainly. Oh, yeah. All right, so 1st and goal from the 8-yard line out of the timeout. Ryland Waters settles into the shotgun he takes. Fakes on the give. That's a little shovel pass to the inside. They're going to say incomplete pass. It was pounced on by a Falcon inside the trenches. Nobody was home on the pitch. It was a forward pass, so it falls to the turf incomplete. It's a good call by this crew. It's 2nd down and goal now. Clock stops on the incompletion. 9:06 here in the first. They like that little shovel pass inside. That's the 2nd time they've run that on this drive.
Yeah, that could have gotten real scary there with that drop there. Almost called fumble, but it was the right play.
Just very methodical in how they run this offense. All right, Ryland Waters settles into the shotgun. Motion man comes. This time they're going to give it. Nat Topner's going to run that one to the right side. There wasn't anything up front, which was the first option, so he cut it back. And he'll pick up maybe a yard out to the 7. That's it. And they like the way that he runs, too, certainly. 5'7", 160, just a guy that is shifty enough to get you a couple yards, but he's not afraid to run into the tackles either. All right, 3rd down and goal here for the Highlanders. They want to get in. They're having some issues communicating from the sideline and getting that call in. Finally, they do. Get the snap off. Here's a give, trying the left side, cutting it inside, a flag. That's Tepner again. He gets inside the 5 to the 4-yard line, but that's a flag on the far side where that run was going, generally in the area of a hold. So we'll see what the call is from this crew, and it is a hold on the Highlanders. So that's going to move them back. Unless Rochester wants to decline it, because that was 3rd down, so this would be 4th down. I assume, though, you'd want to put a little bit of distance in between the Highlanders and this, what would be 3rd down play if you accept the penalty. So they're going to move it back outside the 15 to the 17-yard line near the far hash mark. Highlanders putting this drive together. Just over 8 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. We're scoreless. They want to find points first. They spread it out. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, tight formation right. Ryland Waters, no running backs. He's in the empty set shotgun. 3rd and goal. From the 17-yard line, motion man right to left. Takes. Here's a keeper to the left side trying to find the edge. Can't get it. Inside the 10, and now it's going to be 4th down and goal. And here comes the special teams unit. That's good defense there by the Falcons.
Oh, yeah, 100% there. You know, they're reading the Adams offense really well right now. Moving forward, you know, staying calm, collected, and, you know, good first opening for Rochester's defense.
There's Nolan Grand, the place kicker. Gets that one down. It is up, and it is good. 7:04 to play here in the opening quarter, and the Highlanders take an early 3-0 lead. You didn't want to leave that drive without points.
Yeah.
I think that's what the coaching staff was saying. Look, we could try to go for it inside the 10, but at this point, pretty good drive together. That holding call really hurt them at the end, but you walk away with points, your offense feels good.
Yeah, it almost started with a 3 and out, and they got all the way down to the goal line and couldn't contribute there, but still got points on the board.
You know, this is a team that, you know, lost in the semis last year. They lost some talent as well, but there's still a lot of talent here. You mix some of the veteran talent, some of the younger guys, and I think this is something that they're excited about here, something that you're excited about.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year this year for the Highlanders. They lost a lot of players last year, but they got good ones too.
Yeah, certainly. And I think from the Rochester perspective here, it's a win, right? You hold them to a
100%.
field goal after that drive where it looked like they were about to punch it in. You feel pretty good about that.
Oh, yeah, you know, already, you know, looking a ton better than last year. You know, talking with a few of my friends on the team, they think that this year's chemistry between teammates is a ton better, and they all think that they are on the same page. They all know that they're on the same page, and they're ready to come out here and play.
Yeah, certainly. So 3-0. Rochester Adams on top here early. Doff coming the other way, fielded at the 1-yard line. Devin Grabke bringing it back. Cut down shy of the 20. They'll spot him at the 18, and that's where the Falcons will take over. First time we've seen the Falcons on offense today. Oh, my God, we have a dog on the field. What's this dog's name? Lily? Lily the dog is the tee getter here at Rochester. That's pretty great. That is pretty cool. All right, here comes the Falcons to get after it. Eric Vernon, the head coach. A lot of cachet in high school football here in the state of Michigan. All right, short gainer. Oh, they'll call it a gain of 6 on the play. Matt Dykey in at quarterback. So it's going to be 2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6. 2 receiver set from the shotgun takes. Ooh, that ball's on the ground. Diving for it. Rochester Adams says they have it. No indication yet. Still a scram at the bottom. Rochester Adams has come out with the ball, and they do have it. So that was a miscommunication between Devin Grabke and Matt Dykey, and that just was doomed from the get-go. That took a weird hop straight out in front of them, and the Highlanders able to hop on top of it. That's not what you wanted to see on that drive.
Yeah, it's not. I think the nerves just got to them a little bit. You know, Matt Dykey, sophomore quarterback, he started last year for us as a freshman. You know, he had a pretty good season, and I'm excited to see what he can do here tonight.
Senior running back Matthew Tebner is limping off the field there. He's seeing the trainer now.
All right, 6:12 to play here in the first quarter. Comes this Adams offense. Great starting field position inside the 25 of the Falcons. There's the take, the give, trying the left side, not a ton of space. Closed quickly. Lorenzo Sarter was the ball carrier. In for, as you mentioned, Matt Tepner, who's getting some attention on the sideline. Looks like they're looking at his left leg, left foot perhaps. Meanwhile, play continues. Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9. A little bit more shade here for Ryland Waters, but he's just finding the spot in the field with a little bit of sunlight left. Settles into the shotgun, and we have a whistle. And delay a game here for the Highlanders. So that'll move them back. So that makes things a little more difficult. 2nd and 14 now after the penalty. Waters settles in, takes the snap. Here's the give with a hole, spinning at the 20-yard line. Lorenzo Sarter again. Good gain of, we'll call it 10. Makes this a much more manageable 3rd down. Nice run there on that left side. Or that, excuse me, the right side of that line.
Yeah, junior Lorenzo Sartor's really filling in this role, taking a big lead this year.
All right, 3rd and 6. Officially a gain of 8. Once again, Sarter on the carry. Getting down closer to that 1st down marker. He's going to be a couple short down to the 15-yard line. And now it's 4th and 2. And now this feels like a time when they're going to, Ryland Waters is going to keep this ball. It feels like snap it, give him that option, but give him a lane to run it, and he's going to key. That would be my guess here. See what Tony Petrino decides to do. They spread him out. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Why not? Keep it up the middle, diving for it. Ooh, he might be a little bit short. Faked it to Sarter on the sweep right to left. And the Falcons do indeed stuff him short. A gain of 1, he needed 2.
Yeah, that's key for Rochester's defense right now, a turnover on downs. You know, I was talking with Coach Vernon this morning at school, and he was saying that their main goal tonight was to limit Ryland Waters, limit his options to run the ball and to pass the ball. And, you know, that was a perfect example of how they focused and made that happen.
And that's a big bounce back from the turnover, right? You put them deep inside your own territory. You don't feel great about that. But that defensive stand there is a nice one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so right back on offense for the Falcons here. Ball at their own 14. Dykey takes, gives up the middle. Nothing doing there. That's a stout Highlander front there that this running back crew is going to have to run into all game. Very physical at the front, very fundamentally very sound up front there for the Highlanders. Big crowd here tonight. out at Rochester Adams. All right, Dykey, empty set. 2 receivers left, 2 right takes. Here's a little screen. Caught and then taken down shy of the 20-yard line. Nathan Tandy, the ball catcher there. It gives him a little bit of room. It's going to be 3rd and 5 here. 3rd and 5. It's a nice play. They were running that a lot, actually, in warm-ups. Dykey was throwing those just quick little outs, and those receivers are quick off the catch. So let's see what they run here. Dykey under some pressure. Going to roll to his right, trying to find a little bit of space. Taken down shy of the first down, however. Able to find a little bit of room out to the right-hand side, but he's going to be about 2 yards short. The coaching staff over there measuring it up to see if it's something that they want to try to deal with. And I think they're going to bring in a little extra beef. So it was a gain of 4, they're going to call it. They need 1, maybe 1.5 yards to get the first down. This offense is going to stay out there.
Defense! Defense!
All right, are they going to run a play here? Let's see. Dykey looking towards the sideline. Haven't run a play. I think the coaching staff is going to take a timeout here. I don't think they're going to run the play, and they do call the timeout. They let the play clock down, and they weren't going to run the play. So timeout here for Rochester. 2:03 to play here in the first quarter with Adams up 3-0. It felt like a dangerous spot to go for it there, but they looked pretty confident at first. It didn't seem like they were ever going to run a play.
Yeah, smart move by coach there, taking a timeout, giving himself and his coaching staff a little time to think over what they want to do, kind of try to settle his players, come up with a solid plan. And, I think going for it right now is a good idea. I mean, you're 2 minutes left in the first.
Sure.
You're only down by 3. There's really not much risk right now.
Yeah, in terms of where you're at in the game, yeah, certainly it feels that way. What you don't really want to do is you don't want to miss it and then potentially be down by 10. That would feel like a bit of a mountain to climb. But the staff here decided to not go for it, and I think they're going to punt this one away. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Nathan Tandy, who just caught that ball, going to put a foot on it. Jack of all trades here for the Falcons. Ooh, high snap. Takes a bounce. He's going to run it. He's got some space on the left-hand side, but he's taken down. Heck of a play there by Rochester Adams. Swiss Army knife Brady Lindstrom to make the stop shy of that first down marker, and that's not what you wanted to see if you're a Falcons fan.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too high. And by the way, Tandy's a big dude. Big, I mean, he's got to be, 6'3", 6'4"?
He's up there.
And that went over his head.
Yeah. Just an unfortunate play for Rochester right there. The little mistakes are gonna pile up, but hopefully we can overcome that. And again, goldfish memory. Just keep on moving forward.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line here. And then Nolan Ferris is in at quarterback for Rochester Adams. There's a give, right side. Nice bit of running there, Matt Tepner. Gets to the 5-yard line, gain of 4. So they're going to say first down. All right, so it's going to be first down and goal. First down and goal from the 5-yard line. Nolan Ferris still in the game at quarterback. They give Tepner again. Little jump cut out to the right-hand side and into the end zone. It's going to be touchdown Highlanders once again. Matt Tepner with the ball carry, and he gets in for 6. A little bit of breathing room there. That feels good.
Yeah, it feels nice. 3 red zone drives in the first quarter and only putting up 10 points. They could have had more, but Rochester should be pretty fortunate right now.
All right, extra point attempt. Down and up and good. 1:21 to play here in the first quarter. And Adams taking a 10-0 lead here in the first quarter. And now you want to start really thinking about putting a drive together.
Oh, yeah.
Goldfish memory is exactly right. But just put a couple first downs together, right? String a couple first downs together. That'll get you down the field.
Yeah, 100% there. I really want to see our offense kind of open up the pass game a little bit. Let Dykey throw the ball, let him get some space, give him time in the pocket, and, kind of open that up. And then once Adams' defense kind of gets used to us throwing the ball, then we try to run it. Then we let our O-line, open up a gap for Devin Grabke to run through.
All right, so Adams is going to kick it off. This one's going to be fielded. Oh, and then put on the ground, picked up. Trying to run to the right side. Devin Grabke again. Gets out across the 15 to the 17. That's where he's taken down. So $1:13 to play here in the opening quarter. And Rochester Adams looking sharp tonight, both offensively and defensively. And on special teams. Heads up play on that last previous punt attempt. And now it's all about, at this point, Falcons trying to put something together. Put a couple of first downs together and make sure that you get down the field, get yourself out of your own zone. Points on the board. Matt Dykey to the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the left, 1 in motion. Dykey takes. Gives to the right. Grabke out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. That's a shifty little run, much needed there for the Falcons. Under a minute to play here in the first. Adams on top, 10-0. Ball far hash mark. Falcons moving right to left. Tight to the formation. Takes. Dykey. Gives. Grabke trying to find some right side. He's going to lose yards. Back to the 21-yard line. And they don't have to run another play here in the first quarter if they so choose. So it's going to be a loss of 2. Ball spotted at the 21. Making a change late, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Adams on top, 10-0. We'll take a break. You're listening to our Drive to the Game, brought to you by Sportscaster.com here on WJR. More coming up next.
This is Sportscaster.com. Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports? Want to be the next great voice? Sportscaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Amplify the drama.
To the end zone! Touchdown Detroit Lions! Oh my!
Create memories forever etched in our minds.
A year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Send shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen?
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard.
Once again, versatility, the word of the night for Anthony Battani.
Sportscaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, create your own sports talk show, stir it up with sports commentary, and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just sign up and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. Sportscaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game. Sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and Window World Detroit. Once again, Chris Renwick.
All right, welcome back. Big third down falls incomplete there for Matt Dykey. And out comes the punting unit once again. It's good to have Charlie Donahoe, the sophomore Rochester Adams, with me up here in the booth. Also Ethan Crow, the senior at Rochester. Tell me about what it was like this week getting ready for a game like this over here at Adams.
A lot of preparation going into it. They know it's a big matchup for the city. And, I think they came prepared for this game.
How about you? What was going on over
really
at the old school?
Everyone was just excited. No one could do homework. You could tell.
Is that the excuse this time around?
Yes.
Fair enough. All right, this one finally gets away here. It's going to take a little bit of a Falcons bounce out to near midfield, and that's where the Highlanders will take over. So just a lot of buzz, right? A lot of excitement this
100%.
week.
Every Friday morning we have the band in our mall area, and they do a little pep rally, and that got everyone moving today.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then talking to one of my friends, Mark Jones, on the team, he was telling me that all week they've been studying film, running hard at practice, and just getting ready for this game, because this is one of the biggest games of the year for us. And it's really surprising having it the second game of the year.
Yeah.
Just after Frazier. And, I would have liked to have a little more time, but hey, we're here and we're having a great time.
All right, so Adams takes back over on offense on the Falcons' side of the midfield stripe. Ball's at the 49-yard line of Rochester. We got some whistles still in at quarterback. It's going to be a delay of game for Adams. Nolan Ferris is still in at quarterback. Haven't seen Rylan Waters the last two offensive series. He's over here on the bench. Doesn't look like he's getting any sort of attention. A couple of folks around him, but he's just sitting, taking in the action. Meanwhile, Nolan Ferris to the shotgun. Calls for it, gets it, gives it. Right side with some room. Good blocking up front. Little bit of a crease out to the right-hand side. Lorenzo Sarter picks up chunk yardage. Cut down just shy of that first down marker. It's going to be a gain of 8, so 3rd and 2 coming up. That's just some crafty running over on the outside. Good block on that from the offensive line, but better blocks outside from the receivers.
Yeah, there's great blocks there for Sartor. Really created a gap for him to go and get a big gain there.
All right, so they get the call. Ferris in the shotgun takes. Throw, little wide receiver screen out to the left, out across the 40 to the 35, and then taken down out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. Matt Tepner once again. He is everywhere for this Adams offense. So it's enough for a first down. Spotted at the 32-yard line. And as dynamic as Rylan Waters is, Nolan Ferris is very capable of running this offense as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got a big frame too, and he can really throw the ball.
All right, they go tight formation, motion man left to right. They give it to him on the little quick screen, little sweep out to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 12 and a first down. Jesse Jottis, again, they just using that motion to their benefit. And Rochester having a hard time stopping that.
Yeah, for sure. I think our defense is just, got the jitters a little bit.
Sure.
Rivalry game, still pretty early game, second quarter. And, it's always it's just those jitters I feel like that are getting to us. And, we just got to, lock in, lock plays down, lock the run down, and I think we'll be fine.
It's 1st and 10. Gives Sarter. Up the middle, dragging tacklers inside the 15-yard line to the 14. Just a tough runner. Can get outside, bounce it out wide, and certainly can run in between the tackles. He is tough to bring down. They get their call in. Clock continues to roll. Under 10.5 to play here in the first half. Adams on top, 10-0. They want more. To the line, Ferris gives Sarter. Trying the left side. Not a ton of room there, picking up maybe a yard, half a yard out to the 13, but that was well read by that front seven.
Hey, great job by Cole Murphy. He was on that right side of the line, and he really just read the play, got there and helped take him down.
He's an impact player for this defense on that end spot. Just very athletic, can move around, got quick hips, and certainly can get after the passer. Tepner trying the right side, sticks a foot in the ground, plants, turns it north-south, get inside the 10. It's like they'll spot him at the 8-yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal here for the Highlanders. They're just very methodical in what they do. Don't make a lot of mistakes. Don't cause a lot of unnecessary penalties. Don't hurt themselves. Very methodical here so far in this first half. Subbing a couple big fellas up front. And they get set. 1st and goal from the 8 for Rochester Adams. Here's a give to Sarter. Still on his feet into the end zone. Touchdown, Adams. The smoke flows from the student section. The flags fly. And there is a flag, however, on the play. So it was a little bit of a misdirection give. Faked it to Tepner initially and then pulled it over to Sarter, but I think this one's coming back. Looks like it's going to be a hold on the offense. So hold the smoke.
Yeah, that is a key call right there for Rochester, giving us a little more breathing room and giving us another chance at that.
And more importantly, to keep them out of the end zone, moves them back out to the 17-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 17. Can't pick up another first down. Empty set, 3 receivers to the right, motion man left to right. Ferris gives to the man, motioning to the right, that's Lindstrom. Get inside the 15 to the 13, so a gain of 4 on the play. It's 2nd and goal from there. They went empty set there. They bring back Sarter and Tepner, however. I think if you're Rochester at this point, anything that's not 6 is a win. Trying to keep him out of the end zone. That is the focus of the Falcons at this point. They go to the pistol. Tepner in the backfield. They give it to him. Trying the left side, cutting it back in, nothing there. Maybe pickup of a yard, but that's about it. Nice job by that front 7. Jack Picorni, however, there first, making that stop initially and then was swarmed, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Jack Picorni there. He's one of my teammates on the lacrosse team, and he's a great defender. You know, he shuts down top side, and I can see that what he's doing right here too. He's shutting down that run. You know, kind of in lacrosse we call it taking top side, and he's taking that top side and he's getting there.
All right, big 3rd down here for both of these teams. Here's the take, rolling to the right, getting pressured, throwing incomplete, and it's 4th down. Good coverage on that far side, looking for Jesse Jadis. And it falls incomplete. It's 4th down. Now looks like Adams is going to elect to kick the field goal.
Yeah, that was a great one by Rochester's defense, you know, limiting the damage, kind of getting in and, you know, being able to stop that run game. And at the end, you know, the incomplete pass, that really helped us. So, you know, this next drive for our Rochester offense will be a big one for this game.
All right, here's Nolan Gran. Ooh, that was a line drive kick underneath the crossbar. No good. And so Rochester hanging on, that holding penalty, incredibly impactful. And they turn it over on downs, and now the Falcons with potentially a little bit of a jolt here.
Oh, yeah, I think this is exactly the energy that we need right now for the boys on the field right now for Rochester. You know, previous game at Fraser, Rochester won 34-0. You know, our offense was firing on all cylinders that game, and I really want to see that happen here. And I really think we can get down the field and get a touchdown before the end of this quarter.
All right, so for Adams, not what you wanted, obviously, but you're still up 10-0. 7 minutes left to play here in the half. And the defense has been playing really good tonight. You already see what the offense can do. They're moving the football.
Yeah, defense is looking strong so far. Rhino is still sitting on the bench with Ferris in, getting taped up right now. We might see him return in the second half.
All right, here's Dykey, takes the snap. Gibbs left side with some room and a blocker out across the 30-yard line. Devin Grabke with the carry, picks up 12 and a first down.
Yeah, what a heads-up play by Grabke. You know, finding the run, finding the space, you know, run into the green for that first down. Really huge for Rochester in the second quarter.
6:50 to play. Adams on top, 10-0. Falcons in their blue lids and all whites. The Highlanders, is it gold, yellow? What is the official color?
The Highlanders, gold and brown.
Gold and brown. All right, so the gold lids, brown jerseys, very classy, clean look for both of these teams. So that run goes nowhere. Grabke gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's lucky he got that. There was just nowhere to go with that football, so it brings up 2nd down and 10. Tepner coming off the field, a little gimpy there. Needs a spell. So he checks out. Under 6 to play. Clock continues to roll. Adams up 10. 2 receivers to the right here. Now motion man left to right. Dykey takes. Little screen. Grabke takes out to the 40. Cuts it upfield. Spot him at the 43-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Gain of 11. They're just finding ways here.
Oh, yeah.
Piecing first downs together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that call by Coach there. You know, try to get Dykey in the pass game a little bit, get him a little more settled, and hopefully later we can open up to let our wide receivers run down the field and get a big play here.
So Adams will give you different looks defensively. They're going to show 3 down linemen here. Here's the motion. Dykey takes up the middle. Boy, there is just not a lot of room on the interior. And it's just good run stopping there up front. Charlie Durand stuck his nose in it from that linebacker spot. And there was just nowhere for Grabke to go. Ran right into the middle of that 51 jersey. Gain of 2 only brings up 2nd down and 8. Potentially a little bit of urgency here for Rochester. They want to get in, get some points before the half. Under 4.5 to play here in the second quarter. Dykey takes, fakes. Little dump out to the tight end in the flat. Picks up 6 yards out to the 50-yard stripe. They'll spot him at the 49 of Adams. That's a pickup of 7. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 here. Feels like a pretty must convert 3rd down here for Rochester.
Oh, yeah, 100%. This 3rd down is going to be huge. If we don't get this, who knows what's going to happen. Go for it. No, there's only 3 minutes left in the second right now. So
here's Grabke, cuts upfield, gets that 1st down. Ooh, they're going to say the ball was out. Are they going to say he was down? No indication yet. No indication from the officiating crew. Adams is saying they have it, but there's no. Ooh, I think they're going to talk about it. Still discussing it. And the signal is it stays with Rochester. So a consequential call. An Adams player came up with it, but the crew decided that was not who ended up having possession at the end of that. So it's 1st down for Rochester at the Adams 46. Dykey takes, gives with a head of steam up the middle. Grabke out to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, this year Devin Grabke has done a really good job of filling the shoes of last year's running back Jack Lauer. He's a little bit smaller, but he really makes up for that with his shiftiness and speed.
Yeah, it really plants his foot in the turf and gets north-south pretty quick. Shifty runner. 2nd down. And 6 after the gain of 4. And we've got a whistle. Rochester wants to take a timeout, talk things over. 2:44 to play here in the first half. Adams up 10-0. They want some points. So, Charlie, you're a golfer.
Yeah.
You play basketball.
Yep.
How do you stay in the moment, right? Maybe you're down a couple points or you're up a couple points, whatever it is. How do you stay very present as an athlete?
The clock's not over till it hits 0, so you just gotta keep fighting and keep it strong. I mean, this game's not over yet. It's only two-score game.
How do you equate the sports that you play to what they're experiencing in football?
You just gotta be mentally strong. I mean, just because you're down now doesn't mean you're gonna be down the rest of the game.
Yeah, certainly. So you still have a couple of years to go. You're just a sophomore, but you told me maybe Michigan State at some point, maybe Notre Dame. Those are some pretty good schools.
Yeah, I think that's what the plan is for now.
That's great. What do you want to study? What do you want to do?
I think I'm studying something business related.
Business, very good. I should have taken that advice. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good call. All right, back to the line out of the timeout. Rochester they need some yards here and points before the half. Dykey takes, fakes to Grabke, getting pressured, rolling, setting his feet, wants to go down the field. Ooh, had a man for a moment, incomplete. He was looking for Cole Murphy, but that was really, really good coverage downfield. Sam Hollenbeck was there, and we've got a Falcon down. I believe that's Cole Murphy. It was just a good football play up top. Maybe just a hair of a underthrow by Dykey, but still a pretty darn good ball. And there's a flag on the field. flag on the field. They're going to call a hold on that. So they're going to move that football back. And that's not what Rochester needed on this play. A double whammy, a hold, and your number one receiver still on the field.
Yeah, just a little trail of unfortunate circumstances right now, just building up.
He's able to jog off under his own power, so that's good to see. So they're going to move this ball back to their own side of the 50. They're going to spot it at the 48-yard line of Rochester. So it's going to be second and forever. They have to find a way here to get back into striking distance. Second and we're calling it 16. Just 2:37 to play here in the first half. All right, back to it. Dykey to the shotgun. Sends a motion man. Left to right. Calls for it, gets it. Gives it, trying the right side, just diving forward. Close to where the line of scrimmage initially was. Blake Chakowski picks up 5, so it's 3rd and 11. Good to see Cole Murphy back in the game. Hopefully just had the wind knocked out of him. He's back at it. Dykey getting the call from the sideline. He's got Grabke to his left. They stack 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Ball near hash mark. Dykey calls for it, gets it. Looking, throws, tries the screen, threw that one a little too far. He was looking for Grabke, but he ended up throwing it towards Marcus Adom, the lead blocker of the offensive lineman, and he wasn't the right player. So it's 4th down and 11. And here comes the special teams unit to punt this one away. So clock stops on the incompletion, 1:51 here in the first half. Adams is going to get the ball back, and that's a good stop here defensively for the Highlanders. A little bit of an issue on one of the previous punts on the snap. Nothing that time. It was a good snap and punted away. Good special teams tackle down the field as well. Nice job up front. Nick Alf making the stop there for the Falcons. And the Highlanders will take over from their own 18-yard line with 1:43 to play here in the first. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 18. And we'll see how aggressive here the Highlanders want to be. We still have yet to see back in the game Rylan Waters. Nolan Ferris still in at quarterback, so he goes to the shotgun. He's got Sarter to his right. Calls for it, gets it, gives it. Sarter trying the right-hand side. Tackled from behind after a pickup of 4. Out to the 23-yard line. Clock continues to run. 1:28. They get right to the line. Takes. Ferris throws out wide. Nothing doing. He was looking for Connor Helfrich, but just a little too wide. That stops the clock with 1:21 to play. So 3rd down. Big stop here defensively if Rochester can get a hold of one here.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know, going into the half with a stop would be pure because, you know, get the boys, you know, a little fired up for the next half.
Yeah, certainly. They're going to run it. Nothing doing. Not going to be anywhere close to the first down. Rochester's going to go over, take a timeout. So that'll stop the clock with 1:13 to play. And Adams is going to have to punt it. So Rochester potentially wants a little more here, and they're going to have an opportunity. Meanwhile, you're a lacrosse player.
Yeah.
You play lacrosse, and you said you like to golf as well.
Yep.
More of a fly-by-night golfer?
Yep.
Yeah,
just,
all right.
You know,
Fair enough.
knock around the ball with a couple of my friends.
Fair enough.
Yep.
You're also the president of student council
Yes,
as well
I
for
am.
your class.
Yep.
What's that experience like?
It's a lot of work, but it's fun work.
Yeah.
So, we're right in the middle of getting ready for homecoming right now. So
Okay.
we got
What does that
coming
look
up.
like? What does homecoming prep look like?
Just a lot of planning, a lot of emails being sent, a lot
Yeah.
of calls. So,
A lot of emails, a lot of calls.
It seems like tedious work, but it's fun work. The people around you make it fun. So
It's very cool, and you need, students like you certainly to help lead the charge on that, and it's wonderful that you do that. All right, so a big punting situation here for Adams, just trying to get this thing away. Good snap. A little bit of a duck. It's going to take a big Falcons bounce, and it's going to go out at the 30-yard line. So with 1:04 to play, Rochester is going to have an opportunity here to put some points on the board. That's a pretty good turn of events.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Watching that ball go up and then bounce back, I was getting overjoyed here. One more shot. We got 1:04 left. And hopefully our offense can put something together.
Yeah, certainly. The Adams student section getting fired up. Is that where you'd be tonight if you weren't up here in the booth?
Yeah.
You'd be over there?
Yeah.
What's it like being over there in a game like this?
It's live, especially in games that you're up. I mean, everyone's hype and you're having a good time.
That's pretty cool. All right, 64 seconds to play here in the first half. Dikey takes, gives. Boy, just nothing doing there. Devin Grabke, the ball carrier, get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. He was tackled almost immediately. And they go right back to the line. Clock continues to run. 48 seconds left. Falcons have yet to find points. Getting pressure. Throws. Got Grabke on a little bit of a screen. Gets out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. That is going to be a first down. Stop the clock on the out-of-bounds play. And they've got a red zone opportunity, but we do have a Highlander hurt. Late flag as one of the referees joins the head coach of the Highlanders, Tony Petrito, out on the field. So a late flag, that could be costly. Unsportsmanlike conduct. That goes against the Highlanders. That is going to put the Falcons in a prime spot. Officiating crew trying to calm down the Highlanders staff here. Still haven't picked up the flag. So we're going to get a timeout here.
Petrito is not having his way with the ref there.
He is not happy. Now, I think he wants to argue that there was a hold there. There was some pressure coming up right up the middle. And Dikey did a nice job sidestepping most of it. But just when he looked forward, found his safety valve in Devin Grabke and got it to him. But I think from Tony Petrini's perspective, that there was a hold there that they didn't call. And he's still talking to the officiating crew about it. But yeah, not happy, certainly. But that could also serve as a moment to get the guys fired up, right? To galvanize this defense potentially for a stop. But they're going to move that ball. Remember, it was just inside the 20-yard line at the 19. Now they spot it at the 9 on the penalty. So it's first and goal here for the Falcons. They've got 35 seconds to play with. Spread it out. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, 1 in motion back to the right. Dykey takes, rolling, looking, getting tripped up. Nice job. Matt Tepner making that play defensively this time. Lose 2. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 11. They get back to the line. Clock continues to run. 15 seconds left. Dykey calls for it. Looking, rolling right. Throws it into the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Sam Hollenbeck, but it falls to the turf. It's one of those plays where once your quarterback gets into scramble mode, he turned to the right. He was looking for an outlet. Once you see that, got to make yourself available. Hollenbeck tried, but Dykey just couldn't get it to him. So 7 seconds left on the clock, and imagine they're going to throw the football. Good pressure up front here by Adams. They send trips out to the left. Dykey calls for it. He's looking that way, getting pressure. Throws incomplete. It was a low throw. They were looking for Devin Grabke, but incomplete. And now field goal unit comes out to try to get some points. It's a nice stop there defensively for Adams.
Yeah, that's huge for Adams, not letting them get 7 on the board here.
All right, 2 seconds left. For all intents and purposes, probably the last play of the half. All right, field goal attempt is up. That thing looks good, and it is. So as the first half comes to a close, the Falcons find themselves on the board, but Adams still on top, 10-3. We'll take a break. It is halftime here at Adams. You are listening to the Drive to the Game, brought to you by Sportscaster.com here on WJR.
WJR, Detroit.
Experience the magic of the Michigan Renaissance Festival and embark on a thrilling Renaissance quest full of adventure, merriment, and turkey legs. Weekends now through September 28th. Get your discounted tickets today at MishRenFest.com.
Friday Night Football on WJR is all about tradition, pride, and supporting our local schools. And at Window World, we believe in those same values. Whether it's windows, siding, doors, or gutters, families across Michigan trust us to deliver quality and value. And just like these athletes give it their all every week, Window World gives our best with lifetime warranty.
All Talk, 9 a.m. to noon with Kevin Dietz.
Michigan Rep. Brad Paquette, a Republican from Niles, has introduced legislation that would prohibit SNAP recipients from using their benefits to purchase soda. Critics warn the policy could stigmatize low-income families and add administrative costs without improving public health outcomes. Let's welcome in Brad Paquette.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, the most contentious aspect of this initiative is, I think, whether we call it pop or soda.
To listen to the complete podcast and stream 760 WJR, go to WJR.com.
The best electrical contractors, period. The National Electrical Contractors Association of Southeastern Michigan member contractors are the best in the business, providing electrical and telecommunication services throughout the region for commercial, public, industrial, and residential projects. NECA contractors have been powering and connecting Southeastern Michigan for over 100 years. And they're proud supporters of the communities where they work and live. Put their experience and expertise to work for you. Find a NECA contractor at smcneca.org. Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
You're listening to the Drive to the Game on 760 WJR. Live coverage of Michigan's biggest high school football matchups, presented by Sportscaster.com. Also sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and Window World Detroit. Now for hometown halftime coverage, here's Chris Renwick.
All right, welcome back. Halftime. It's good to have you because, look, the realities are there are some really excellent players in Michigan that are playing high school football, that are going to go on to play college ball. And then the very elite, the very few, the very rare instances where these guys go on to play professional football. It is a challenging course for anybody. But there are some that have made it and then made it even past that, finding their way into the business world and finding success after sports. And one of those guys is Anthony Tomey, who is a major restaurateur here in the area, owning a lot of Jimmy John stores, a lot of other businesses, and he joins me here at halftime. Anthony, it's good to have you. First of all, what a great time of year, isn't it? High school athletics kicking off. It's just so fun.
It's amazing. I mean, thanks for having me on, first of all. Always an honor to be on with you. And, yeah, very exciting. I mean, you can't just, the fall, the football weather overall, the excitement, everyone's back to school. It's just a fun time of year for sure.
You were a baseball guy, though, right? Take me through your baseball career.
Yeah, I mean, I played everything, football, basketball, baseball, but ended up, obviously, my senior year, I was drafted by the Cleveland Indians. And then, didn't sign, had a full ride to Eastern, went to Eastern Michigan, played there, drafted again with the Tigers, had a 7-year career there with the Tigers, and I had the time of my life. I mean, it was an amazing time for me. Maybe some bad timing overall. I got there in the worst team ever in 2003. By the time I'm in AA, they're in the World Series, right? And they got 5 guys throwing 100 out of the bullpen. So just bad timing overall. But, I mean, overall, it was a great experience, and I would never trade it for anything.
How did that then shape your life after? So what happened during your time in baseball and Major League Baseball with the Tigers? How did that change your trajectory going forward?
I mean, listen, everything in life shapes you for the next thing, right? I'm a firm believer in that. And I think that, being an athlete, I think overall athletes are great business people overall. They just really are. I think just the discipline, what it takes to get to a level, the highest level of your profession is hard work, right? It's not nothing. I don't care how gifted you are, you need to put the work in, right? So, it has molded me into what I am today. I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning. I go to the gym. I have a routine. You get things done. I'm always competing. Like, we have 50 Jimmy Johns. Do we need any more? We don't need any more, but I always want more, right? You want to keep going and keep growing. And that's just part of the whole competitiveness, and that's what baseball has taught you, right? Or in sports overall, you got to just work hard. You got to outwork everybody else. The discipline and just staying focused and making things happen and not pushing it to the side. So many great things that sports does for you after you're done playing.
And then, of course, as an EMU alum, you do a lot with the university as well, too. And again, just kind of going back to the educational side of things, to the athletic side of things, you're still very involved there.
Yes. I mean, I love EMU, love Catholic Central, my high school. Very involved in both, on the board on both places there. I do a lot within the school. Then I'm also part of Game Above, which is a large benefactor towards Eastern Michigan. So it's been a ton of great things we do with them, giving back to the school, the School of Technology we have there, Game Above School of Technology, the new golf facility we just built with Game Above. And just obviously I'm giving back as much as I can to the baseball program. We just turfed the entire field over there. So everything has been great. And we're just trying to get some of these guys. I have a couple NILs now every year at Eastern, and obviously it's not a hotbed of NIL and not a ton of return on investment of that, but you got to support these kids and get them there and support the school as much as you can. What do you tell these student athletes in high school, for example, as they're getting ready to go to college or wanting to further their athletic career? What's some of the advice that you give them from your experience? I just tell them the same thing every time. I said, guys, as good as you think you are now, when you get to the next level, everyone's just as good, if not better. So you have to find a way to outwork them, right? I was the best pitcher in the state of Michigan my senior year. I thought, man, I'm great. I just got drafted. Everything's awesome. You get to college, everyone's doing that. You get to the pros, I'm throwing 94, 95. You get to the pros, you can't get to the pros unless you're throwing 94, 95. So, it's a different deal you have to keep working. You have to keep getting better, or else someone else will catch you from behind, and that's not what you want. And so I tell these guys all the time.
Anthony Tomey, best of luck. It's great to catch up with you. I know you're very busy, so we appreciate the time here at halftime, and we'll talk again very soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That is Anthony Tomey. We'll take a break. It's our Drive to the Game coverage here on WJR.
So what we're doing with Sportscaster.com is we're giving people a platform, a community, all focused on sports broadcasting, whether it be a podcast, a piece of commentary, stirring it up with the other guys, the Michigan, Ohio State fans getting together on a particular issue and really going at it, whatever it may be, or a live play-by-play opportunity. People can go there, subscribe to the channels, enjoy their favorite sports broadcasters and their commentary and their content. And it's a great way for people to learn and hone their craft before they go out and, do it at the NFL or the college level.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I truly do, and it's going to help broadcasters. You asked me earlier, what should a young broadcaster do to get started? Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Find a way to get on that sportscaster.com, get on that high school broadcast, and when you do, tape it, so that you have an audition tape that you can send to some other outlet, wherever it is, and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I've done before. Like actors send out lists of credits. Yep. This is a movie I've done before. This is a voiceover I've done before. Same thing with sportscaster.com. Get on that broadcast, find a way and do it, and then tape it, and then send it along so that someone else gets an opportunity. Who knows? You may get hired, and you're not just 1 week; you're 10 weeks in a row, and that's how you do it. I mean, it's hard. It doesn't pay a lot of money, but if you're really committed and you really want to do it, hopefully, there's nothing more rewarding. There's one of those things I tell people. I said, if you have a job you love, you don't work a day in your life. Yeah. Well, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what being a sports broadcaster, especially in play-by-play, I was very, very lucky to do that. But it starts out hard, but once you get there, it's very rewarding.
Law.com. You're listening to the Drive to the Game on 760 WJR. Live coverage of Michigan's biggest high school football matchups, presented by Sportscaster.com. Also sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and Window World Detroit. Now, direct from the sideline, here's the Sportscaster halftime team.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into halftime here at Rochester Adams High School with a halftime score of 10-3. And yes, that does mean the Rochester Falcons have broken their 3-year scoreless streak against the Highlanders, making this one a much closer game than we anticipated here. My name is Giovanni Moschieri, joined with Gabe Loper, Taryn Fritching, and Rochester's student. Excuse me, Rochester student Harper Misch, who's been on the sideline with us covering the game from all angles. And Harper, I do want to start with you. The energy of this student section here, a student section that you know personally, has been up and in arms and excited for tonight's game.
Oh, totally. It is so exciting that this was our first time scoring in 3 years. And it's amazing. And I know that our student section is going to go above and beyond with the energy tonight. And I know that this energy is not going to be going anywhere. I know we're going to be holding it through the entire game. And we are just so pumped and so excited for this game.
And that field goal will bring the recap of the first half here to lead to that field goal that broke that streak there. It started off for the Rochester Adams Highlanders with a big drive. Got down the field early with a lot of yardage from number 5, Matt Topner, who's had a lot of action on both sides of the field in this game. But the offense slowed down as soon as they entered the red zone, with it settling for a field goal to get the first lead, 3-0 in the first quarter. But the Rochester defense as well, multiple stops near the red zone, and Rochester Adams was just not able to punch it in until later in the first quarter, where Rochester would find the end zone. Once again, Topner rushing into the touchdown on an outside run. And then from there, it was kind of gridlocked in that second quarter. Teams were strong foot, columns of granite on both sides in terms of the defense. But that field goal was set up by a Rochester Adams penalty as they were able to march down the field, but got even closer from head coach Tony Petrito of the Highlanders. An unsportsmanlike conduct brought them to the 9-yard line, setting up the field goal. to give us that 10-3 score that we have here at halftime. And for given the rankings of these two teams coming into today, this is a lot closer than we thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's a duel. It's a duel. Rivalry game, it's a duel. We saw, like, we mentioned earlier pregame, with just the emotions that, are flaring up. And as a coach, that's like the last thing that you want. But like I said, we got a duel on our hands. Special teams. We got blunders on both sides. Both teams have put the ball on the ground. We had, the biggest reason that we saw that Rochester Adams score came after a punt, that high snap. Punter had trouble handling it, got tackled, turnover on downs, and he gave Adams the ball in prime field position. So, and then both offenses moving the ball well, especially with the power run game. Rochester started moving the ball really well towards the end of the half, mostly with that power run game, but a lot of it was damage limitation, especially with the special teams blunders. You can run 6 or 7 plays, but at the end of the day, you're only getting to your own 40 or 45-yard line. So, like I said, we have a duel on our hands. It's a great game. Defense are playing really well, but I guarantee none of these offensive coordinators are particularly happy with their teams.
And Taryn, your view of the game at the first half, it's still, like we were saying, really close. A lot of things to clean up here. What do you see?
Well, I don't know if you want. I don't know if you wanted to mention this, but I'm going to mention it right now.
Go ahead.
So, when we were talking in the pregame, we were talking very highly about Ryland, Rhino, Waters. However, I would say sometime maybe mid-second quarter, actually, quarterback Nolan Ferris went in, and Ryland Waters was sitting on the sideline being treated for we don't know what, and we're not going to speculate anything. So I think that's also what's been just a huge difference maker in this game, because obviously Tony Petrito is going to be preparing for this game as if Ryland Waters is out on the field. However, as he's not, you kind of got to take a step back and you got to be like, what are we going to do next, especially when you're going into this halftime with your crosstown rival and it's a 10-3. You just let up that lead that you had. I would say a lead, obviously you had the lead, but then you also just let up the fact that they hadn't scored in 2 years on you. So you kind of got to take a step back and just be like, what are we going to do? How can we improve? And I think that's given Rochester an edge, regardless of the score. That's given Rochester an edge over Adams.
No doubt about it, but don't forget, in that state semifinals run last year for Adams, it was Francis at the quarterback spot for much of the season, all the way towards the end of the season, as Waters was out at an injury in his junior year and missed much of that season. So don't sleep on Ferris at the quarterback spot, but definitely all the teams are really excited to see Waters back in this game. We'll see if he does continue to come back in this second half here. But I want to bring it to some of the action on the sideline, not only with the action in the student section, but the Rochester Adams Highlanders have themselves a celebrity on all fours of the field. Yes! Tell us about Lily.
Oh my gosh, Lily is a cute little golden retriever on the Highland side. She is so cute. She is the retriever of...
When they do kickoffs, she gets
the kicking team. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have become very good friends with her. We
Yes,
absolutely
we have.
love her.
She tried to eat our mics.
Yes, she tried to eat the mics. Thought they were treats, but we have made a very new friend. And I've never seen a dog do this position at a football game. Baseball game, yeah, like a
the retriever of the bat.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. But football, I love the incorporation, and I would love to see more.
Yes.
Lily was a total sweetheart. We had a pleasure meeting her and the owner. This is her second game working for the Highlanders here, trained by the same professionals that trained JJ, the field general at Jimmy John's Field for those local to the Utica area. Oh, yeah.
I did not know this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love JJ.
So she's been a great spectacle here, as well as the great spectacle that we've had here. The marching band for Rochester, as well as Rochester Adams, they've been blaring the horns throughout much of the game here. And I want to turn it to the table here. We got another second half to go here. Once again, close game, 10-3 is your halftime score here. What can we expect to see from both sides in this second half? Do things get cleaned up? Does the offense let loose? What do we see? Harper, we'll start with you.
I think the defense will clean up, and I think we'll get better on that. And I also think that the Adams team's defense will also go harder, because our offense, of course, as you saw, we scored. So I think that the Adams defense will definitely get harder, and I think they'll focus more on that than their offense.
Taryn?
I mean, hey, obviously none of our picks are even remotely correct.
Scores are very hard to predict.
very hard to predict. I will say, though, I do believe that with the halftime and with that break and Adams just kind of cooling down, I will say that I do still have them winning. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout as I said. I believe I said that. I said 35-7. I think it's going to be closer, though. I think I'm going to predict a nice little 13-10 action.
Ooh.
Adams over Rochester.
I agree with that one.
I'm expecting, honestly, much of the same. I do expect a little bit more scoring here in the second half as offensive. They've settled. One of the biggest things I remember as a high school football player myself, especially being on the offensive side of the ball, is that you take whatever happened in the first half, you talk about it, you go to the drawing board, what happened, what didn't happen, and because of that, now you can kind of see things kind of flow into a little bit of a rhythm, more of a rhythm. I'm expecting Rochester to run the ball the same way that they did towards the end of the half, with efficiency being hard. Give me 20-10, Adams.
And I got Adams winning in this one, a low-scoring event. And we will kick it over to the booth with Chris Renwick and our student broadcasters. Second half coming up.
Period. The National Electrical Contractors Association of Southeastern Michigan member contractors are the best in the business, providing electrical and telecommunication services throughout the region for commercial, public, industrial, and residential projects. NECA contractors have been powering and connecting Southeastern Michigan for over 100 years, and they're proud supporters of the communities where they work and live. Put their experience and expertise to work for you. Find a NECA contractor at smcneca.org.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports? Sportscaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. Sportscaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. Sportscaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands.
Friday Night Football on WJR is all about tradition, pride, and supporting our local schools. And at Window World, we believe in those same values. Whether it's windows, siding, doors, or gutters, families across Michigan trust us to deliver quality and value. And just like these athletes give it their all every week, Window World gives our best with lifetime warranties and financing options. So as you cheer on your hometown team, remember, when it's time to upgrade your home, call 800-WINDOW-WORLD, visit windowworlddetroit.com, or stop by our showroom in Commerce.
Michigan Auto Law, the law firm that puts people over everything.
People call Michigan Auto Law when they need help, not just because we win more million-dollar auto settlements than any other firm in Michigan, which we do, but because we put people over everything.
Start your day by hitting play on
5 Things First Thing with JR Morning's Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
Get the day's top 5 stories in just 5 minutes, delivered right to your device. Subscribe to JR Morning's 5 Things First Thing wherever you get your podcasts.
You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game. Sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and Window World Detroit. Once again, Chris Renwick.
All right, welcome back here to Rochester Adams, where the Highlanders have a 10-3 lead going into the second half. It's great to be joined by Charlie Donahoe, the sophomore here at Rochester Adams, and Ethan Crow, the senior at Rochester. Let's start with what the Highlanders got going on here. Really started nicely. A couple of really good drives to start the game. They cash in for 10 points. And then it's kind of been what comes next. That's kind of what we've been waiting for from the Highlanders.
Yeah, I think Adams still left a lot of meat on the bone there. I think they could have had a little more points there, but 10 is still enough to be in the lead.
Yeah, certainly. Rochester's perspective, Falcons now at this point, they have a little momentum now going into the second half. They didn't get into the end zone, but they got points, and I think that's what was important coming out of that drive.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know, I'm not mad right now. I'm pretty content. You know, last year the score was 28-0.
Right.
We have 3 points on the bar. That's already better than last year. You know, we held them to 10 points, so not bad. And with this momentum, we can carry it on. And hopefully we can have Matt Dykey, some of our receivers, and Devin Grabke, you know, make a few key plays and continue this game and continue fighting.
Yeah, and the realities is this is not last year, right? Mm-hmm. This is a much different game. The tenor, the tone is much different. They are in this game. I mean, It is a one-score game at this point, and still very much in it. So we're getting you ready for the second half coming up. And Adams is looking to hold on to this lead. It is a packed house here, by the way, at Rochester Adams. I mean, the stands here on our side, we're on the home side. I mean, it is jam-packed. There is hardly a single seat left. And then you look over on the other side, and the student section has shown out pretty good. Are they in togas over there? Is that what it looks like?
Yes.
What's the story with the togas?
I don't know exactly, but from what I heard is our student section leaders, the Soldiers of Fortune, they sent it out. It's whiteout theme tonight, and I guess a few of the guys decided let's wear togas.
Let's toga it up.
Let's do it.
All right, well, very good. So they're out in force. You've got signs on the far side, beat Adams. So the rivalry is certainly in full swing. I want to ask you about the student section here at Adams because we've seen smoke. We've seen all different kinds of cheers going on. What's the story in there?
They're very active tonight. It's a big game, and the theme this year is this is our house party, and there's this new trend where it's like a college frat party where people wear backwards NBA jerseys.
I see a lot of jerseys.
Yeah,
down there. I see some Hornets jerseys. See some old school teal Pistons jerseys. There's a blue Pistons jersey. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I dig it. All right, second half action about to get underway, and the Falcons will start things off offensively here. So let's get the second half underway. Here we go. This one's going to go into the end zone and through the back. Here comes Lily, the T-Dog, coming out to get the T. Oh, ran past it. Come on, Lily. She's got it. Well done. Oh, a little fumble at the 30. Lily gets to the sideline. Well done. All right, here we go. Starting things off at the 20-yard line for this Falcons offense. Matt Dykey trying to lead this team into some wins, coming off a win last week. Mm-hmm. Good win last week.
Good win against Fraser, 34-0. Good, momentum builder, confidence builder for the boys.
Certainly.
For the boys in white tonight.
A little bit slow getting out of the huddle. Finally, they place the ball. And here's the whistle, so now they break it. And now more whistles here by this crew. So they had placed it on the far hash mark. Now they're going to move it more towards the middle. All right, now we're set and ready to roll. Dykey's got trips right. Calls for it. Looks that way. Here's a wide receiver screen out to the right side, out across the 30 to the 35-yard line before running out of space. That's the big body Nathan Tandy on the reception. Picks up enough for a first down. Lights are on here at Adams Stadium. Spotted at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. Matt Dykey calls out the orders to his offense. They go heavy up front. Dykey calls for it, gets it, gives it. There's just not a lot of running room up the middle. Grabke, the ball carrier, but just swallowed up along that defensive front. Liam Bullock was there first for the Highlanders. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, on that last play, you could see Cole Murphy and then number 7 on Adams kind of getting at it a little bit in the backfield. You can really see these tensions rising right now for this rivalry game.
Second and 10, 2 receivers left. Dykey sends a man in motion. Takes. Gives. Grabke trying the right side, hauled down. It's going to be a loss, I think, back to the 31 yards line. So he'll lose a yard, bring up 3rd down and 11 here. And this Adams defense has come out pretty feisty from the half. Third and 11. Dykey from the shotgun. Adams looks to be bringing 4. Calls for it, gets it. Getting pressured, gonna get sacked. Back near the 20-yard line. That was quick to the quarterback, Drew Szymanski. They're fast, and he makes the first sack of the day for this Adams team. He was quick to the quarterback.
Yeah, that was a huge play there.
All right, and now Rochester's going to have to punt it away. All right, good snap, good punt. End over end, fielded at the 48-yard line and then taken down. Great special teams there by the Falcons. Good job holding on until some reinforcements came. Nick Alf, the gunner, made the stop. Connor Helfrich, the return man, and he'll be downed at the 46-yard line of Rochester Adams, so that's where things will start for them. It looked like Rylan Waters, who started this game at quarterback, talking to a couple of the coaches on the sideline, looked a little dejected, unclear with what he's dealing with, but Nolan Ferris still in at quarterback here for the Highlanders.
I was able to talk to Rhino's dad and his brother, and he said that it's something in his right foot, and he will not be returning today. Might be able to get back in next week, but he's not gone for too long.
All right, well, that's good to know. So we'll see Nolan Ferris the rest of the way. Gain of 8 on that Sarter carry. Brings up 2nd and 2. Ferris gives. Good run there inside Matt Tepner. He just slashes, and once he finds a little lane, he's hard to bring down. Not the biggest guy back there, but he certainly runs a lot larger than 5'7", 160. Trying a change up front. All right, Adams to the line. Fresh set of downs at the Falcons 35. Ferris in the shotgun. Calls for it. Gives it. Tepner. Big lane up the middle. Cuts it to the outside, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Adams!
That was a great play there by Tepner. He's really able to find the gap there. Went straight up the middle and then cut to the right for a beautiful play.
Yeah, he just really good vision there. There was a big hole up the middle of that line, and once he hit that, found a little crease off to the right and hit pay dirt. That's a big-time run, and that gives a little bit of breathing room here for this Highlanders offense. 8:18 to play. Highlanders have opened up at 16-3, extra point pending. Highlanders were a man down on that line, so they had to get a late sub in. That kick is up, and it's good. 8:18 to play here in the third quarter, and the Highlanders take a 17-3 lead. So the goldfish memory kicks in again here for Rochester, right?
Yeah, that was an unfortunate start from the break, but, I feel like now coaches, talking to the players, players talking amongst themselves, I feel like that they're going to come back. A train doesn't go from 0 to 60 fast. A train, gets there. They got to get the wheels moving a little, but And I feel like that's what Rochester needs to do here. On this next offensive possession, we need to, take our time, slow things down a little bit, breathe, and just one first down at a time.
Yeah, and really just get that positive first play, right? You get the positive first play, you can build on that. But running for 3 yards here on first down wouldn't be the worst thing. Throwing for 4 yards here wouldn't be the worst thing. Just get that positive momentum going. Like you mentioned, those wheels got to start turning. All right, so here's the kick. Coming the other way. Grabke on the return. He'll get to the 20-yard line. And that's where the Falcons will take over offensively. But coming out of the half here, this Highlanders team, they've been fired up. Offense, defense now.
Yeah, but I think Petrino really got into them that they need to put the foot on the gas here. Only up 7 at the half. I think he thinks they could have done more.
All right, so now here comes the Falcons. Might need to find something creative to get to open things up a little bit. Boy, they are crowding that box, that front 7. Dykey on the roll to the right, throws, nobody home. May have been looking for Cole Murphy. Was there underneath him was Nathan Tandy. Kind of threw it in between both of them and out of bounds, so incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 20. I don't hate the play call, though. Just trying to mix things up, get them in motion, trying to find somebody open, but good coverage on the back end. 2nd and 10. Falcons trying to get the call from the sideline, and they got it. Matt Dykey to the pistol. Fakes to Grabke, throws out wide, got his tight end out across the 25 to the 30. Dives past that first down marker. I think he's got it. Nice catch and run there. Kalen Sieber, the tight end, picks up 11 out to the 31 and a first down.
Yeah, that appears to be Matt Dykey's bread and butter right there. Just snap the ball and then right to one of the wings.
It's been effective when they've run that tonight. They've hit a couple of those for double-digit gains. All right, motion man left to right. Dykey takes, gives. Grabke trying to find a little bit of room, dancing around. He's going to pick up positive yardage, 2-yard gain out to the 33-yard line. But there just really isn't a ton of space there. He's doing his best to try to tap dance around a couple of guys, but there's just nobody home. He picks up 2, and that's good enough. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 coming up. 7:30 to play here in the third quarter. Adams with a 17-3 lead. Battle of the Rochesters here in week 2 of our Drive to the Game coverage. All right, here's the take. Dykey scrambling, going to get taken down from behind. That's a sack. A loss of 1 on the play. Luke Borowski on the sack for the Highlanders. That brings up 3rd down and 9. Tough spot to be at if you're looking to go 4-down territory. Ball at your own 32-yard line, so trying to pick up 9. Not a lot of urgency here from this Falcons offense. They send 3 receivers to the left. And Dykey takes. Avoiding some pressure. Can't avoid that one. Gets taken down. Able to sidestep one rusher, but not able to get past Matt Tepner, who is doing it all tonight. Offense, defense, getting into the end zone. Now a sack. And so that is going to force a Falcons punt. 6 minutes play here in the third. Back deep for Adams, Connor Helfrich gets it, tries to cut it up, nothing doing. He gets to the 45. Maybe lost a yard on that return. But to the 45, that's where the Highlanders will take over offensively. So pretty good starting field position there. And you just want to keep this thing going. Keep this chunk plays train rolling, because that's what we've seen from Adams all night. They've just been chunking things out.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the mentality here of this offense? Still going after it? Still getting after it?
Yeah, they're trying to get as many points as they can on the board. I don't think Rochester is going to be able to catch up to them with 17, but just foot on the gas, as I said earlier.
Foot on the gas. It almost feels like at this point, too, you need a turnover. You need something to spark a little something.
Yeah, I was talking with Mark Jones earlier, and in the preseason game against Dakota, Cole Murphy had a really good pick six for the team, and that really got him energized. I feel like if we can get something going like that right now, just like you said, Chris, that's going to be amazing for this team.
Yeah, certainly. All right, ball at the 45-yard line. There's Nolan Ferris in this offense. They check with the sideline. And they get set. Rochester side trying to get loud, make things difficult. Here's Ferris, motion man. Takes, gives. With some room, Sarter out to the 45 to the 30, still on his feet, cuts it inside, and then take it down at the 21-yard line. Another big chunk run for number 24. And just great blocking out on that left side. I mean, not only are they clearing it out up front, I mean, offensively, the receiver's doing a heck of a job in the blocking game, too. Clock continues to run, 5:20 here in the third. Ferris takes, gives, Sarter again, why not? Not as much room on that play. Pick up 2 out to the 19-yard line. And they're just testing, just to see what they're able to get away with on that left side. They've been doing some work on that left side of the line tonight. And Tepner's going to come out and get a spell. Check that, Tepner in on the sweep, takes the ball inside the 15, cuts it back inside at the 10, Dipsy doodles inside the 5, and then taken down at the 3-yard line. Boy, he is crafty.
Yeah, I feel like their best plays have come in when they're running all the way out to the outside using the full part of the field, and that's where their biggest gains are coming from.
So it was Brady Lindstrom who checked out. Now he checks back in. A lot of weapons offensively here, and there's a flag on the play. And this one's going to come back. Generally in the area of a hold, and that's exactly what it is. So that hold goes on Adams. So they'll move that thing back. Instead of being inside the 5, they're going to spot this at the 29-yard line. So big hold. Cuts away that big gain. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Tepner in motion, right to left. They're going to throw it to him on a screen. Bounces it outside, inside the 20-yard line, ran out of real estate, ducks out of bounds. So they'll get back to the initial line of scrimmage and some. So it's going to be 3rd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, right now Rochester's defense is looking a little better, and they're gonna. I feel like one player that's really gonna take them out of this drive here is Caden Webb, number 22. He's one of the major leaders on this team.
All right, tights the formation. Ferris. Ooh, and they get a quick little jump there by the defense. Looks like Liam Bullock was just a little jumpy, so that's going to be encroachment on the defense. Give him a free 5, so instead of 3rd and 9, make that a 3rd and 4. Much more manageable for this Adams offense. So you're hurt by the penalty initially. You get a break there. Makes this a much more manageable 3rd down. Trying to keep this drive alive.
Yep.
Ball's at the 15. Ferris calls for it. Gets it. Sarter up the middle. I don't think he got it. I think he got 2, maybe 3. Needed the 11. I think they got to the 13, so it's 4th down and 2. It's not quite enough. Boy, this would be a big stop here for the Falcons if they can get it. They go right to the line. Ferris is a big guy. They fake it to Sarter, give it to Tepner on the end around, cuts it inside at the 5, reaching towards the goal line. He's not going to get it. Down to the 1-yard line. Oh, that was a crafty little play. Tepner comes up a little gimpy, but they get right to the line. So it's 1st and goal. Little tush push at the goal line. No sign yet. No whistle yet. Finally, we get a whistle. Nope, they're going to say did not get in. Boy, that is a stout stop up front for this Falcons defensive front. So they're going to be inside the 1. 2nd and goal from there. Do they go back to the play that the Philadelphia Eagles have made famous? Under center. They check, and now they settle back in. 2 minutes to play. No, this time they give it to Sarter for an Adams touchdown. Fake the tush push, this time give it to 24, in for 6. And that lead is expanding here for Rochester Adams. It's 23-3. So they mixed it up. They really mixed it up. All right, here's the snap. The extra point attempt is up, and it is good. 2:04 to play, and now the lead is up to 21. It's 24-3. They're starting to feel a little better here from the Adams perspective.
Big Dirk Adams here. Seen that already twice.
Yeah, and really I think the way that they've come out of that halftime, really good. Offensively, they've been firing on all cylinders. Defensively, they've been playing really good. And Rochester's, look, it's just get it going. Right? You talked about getting those wheels on the train moving. Same thing applies here.
Yeah, 100%. You know, right now, I feel like our O-line really needs to get in there, you know, give Matt Dykey some time, give Devin some time to, you know, see the field, see the gaps, see what's going on. And I think that's going to start with Owen Warner. You know, he's actually one of my deep holes for the lacrosse team. You know, he's a natural leader on the lacrosse team. And I feel like he can do the same thing here and get this O-line really fired up and giving Dykey and Grabke some time.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left in this game. You've seen crazier things happen. Not an insurmountable lead, but it's one that you got to start chipping away at. It would start on this drive. Here's a short kick fielded by the up man at the 20. Trying that far side of the field, cutting up, and then taken down shy of the 25. Long way to go for maybe a 3-yard gain, but that was not a bad spot to get him into the offense here for the Falcons. They'll spot it at the 24-yard line. But Adams here just rolling. They are moving things in the right direction, and defensively playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger tonight. Yeah. All right, here comes Matt Dykey. Send two receivers to the left, two to the right, ball far hash mark. Rochester moving right to left. Dykey from the shotgun calls for it and gets it. Getting some pressure up the middle and then throws this one into the dirt. Getting hounded on that far side. Connor Helfrich. Oof. That goes incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 24-yard line. 1:53 to play. Clock stopped on the incompletion. Adams up 24-3. A little bit of miscommunication, I think, on that far side. Finally, they get it going. Coaching staff talking with Cole Murphy. He comes and joins the formation on the right side. Dykey takes, getting pressure, rolling right, throwing. That one is caught, but then taken down immediately. That is a nice play. A.J. Fletcher on the stop. Grabke was the recipient of that catch in the flat, but there just was no room. Maybe pick up a yard, brings up 3rd and 9 here. This defense has been suffocating. Haven't given Rochester much of anything really tonight. So where do they go here? 3 receivers out left. Dykey calls for it. They flush him out of the pocket. And then he's sacked in that pursuit. There was just nobody home. Looked like a hold, and that drew the flag on that far side of the line, or just as he was coming to the left. Pretty clear hold, and that drew the flag, so that's going to move him back.
The Adams D-line's applying a lot of pressure. A lot of pressures on the quarterback.
Yeah, certainly. Or they could decline it. That ball was incomplete. It would be 3rd and 9. Yeah, they are going to decline it, so it is going to be 4th down. So 4th and 9, and that is going to force a Rochester punt, and so they do bring out the punt unit. So just under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. And the problems for Rochester just continue. They just haven't been able to find a lot of rhythm offensively, and I think you credit Adams a lot to that. They just have been, they haven't been giving anything defensively. Ooh, that was almost blocked. Ooh, we got a flag here on the kicker. Aiden Cosmel was the guilty party here. Let's see what they call. So that is a roughing the kicker call.
Did he touch him there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, certainly, and that's going to give them a fresh set of downs. 4th and 9 on that punt. So that'll put him at the 37-yard line. And a break here for Rochester and the Falcons, and back come out this offense. So 48 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Some new life here offensively for the Falcons. They send 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Dykey settles in. They go heavy on the right side. Calls for it, gets it, fakes it. There's his tight end. Ooh, runs into his own player and then keeps moving forward, get out to across the 40 to the 43. Check that, the 42-yard line. Once again, Kalen Cyber, the big tight end, makes the catch.
This is just what the Falcons need right now, just a little bit of forward movement, get down the field. They got a nice break with the last call, and, just one step at a time, 1 foot in front of the other. Just keep on moving forward.
Gain of 5 on that play certainly helps out. 2nd and 5 from the 42. Dykey takes, gives, Grabke on the right side, pushes forward, gain of 7 and a first down. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Falcons looking for some points. We'll see how that plays out on the other side. You're listening to our Drive to the Game coverage. It's all Adams on top, 24-3. Come back, fourth quarter action here on WJ.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports? Sportscaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. Sportscaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. Sportscaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands.
Friday Night Football.
What we're doing with Sportscaster.com is we're giving people a platform, a community, all focused on sports broadcasting, whether it be a podcast, a piece of commentary, stirring it up with the other guys, the Michigan-Ohio State fans getting together on a particular issue and really going at it, whatever it may be, or a live play-by-play opportunity. People can go there, subscribe to the channels, enjoy their favorite sports broadcasters and their commentary and their content. And it's a great way for people to learn and hone their craft before they go out and, do it at the NFL or the college level.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I truly do, and it's going to help broadcasters. You asked me earlier, what should a young broadcaster do to get started? Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Find a way to get on that sportscaster.com, get on that high school broadcast, and when you do, tape it. So that you have an audition tape that you can send to some other outlet, wherever it is, and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I've done before. Like actors send out lists of credits. Yep. This is a movie I've done before. This is a voiceover I've done before. Same thing with sportscaster.com. Get on that broadcast, find a way and do it, and then tape it. And then send it along so that someone else gets an opportunity. Who knows? You may get hired, and you're not just 1 week, you're 10 weeks in a row. And
all right, 12 minutes left in this one out at Rochester Adams, the Battle of the Rochesters, as Dykey throws this one to his tight end, nobody home. Closing quickly, jarring that ball out of the tight end's hands. Heck of a play, brings up 2nd down. Brady Lindstrom delivering that hit on Kalen Cyber. So it brings up 2nd down and 10. Again, probably a point. And again, clock stops on the incompletion. But the Falcons are going to need to show a little bit of, they got to hustle up a little bit here. A little momentum. Trailing by 21 points. 3 touchdowns. Here's a fake. There's just nothing there. Nothing there for Matt Dykey. Sacked and a loss of 6. Check that, a loss of 5. But that puts him in a really tough spot. It's going to be 3rd and 15. But that front is just absolutely swarming. They're breaking through that line and making life very difficult for Matt Dykey tonight. So that clock now continues to run. 11:20 to play. It's all Adams, 24-3. Dykey sends 2 receivers left, 2 right to the shotgun, calls for it and gets it. Here's a screen. Out across the 50, little shifty move into Adams territory at the 46-yard line. That's going to be about 5 yards short after a gain of 10 of that first down, but picked up big chunk of it, and now gives yourself an opportunity to go for it here on 4th down. Grabke's kind of been the safety valve all night. That and the tight end who just checked in, Kalen Cyber, have been the favorited targets of Matt Dykey. Let's see where he goes with it now.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them gets it here.
Defense. Big fourth down here.
Defense! Defense! Defense!
To the pistol. Cyber in motion. Dykey fakes the give, then rolls to his right. Throws, got a man. Complete, and a late flag. I think this is going to go against Rochester. I think there's an illegal man downfield. But that was a really nice play. I think it's Peyton Shuda who was a little bit ahead of things, and that's going to negate that first down pickup, unfortunately. So they're going to move that back to the initial line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line. So now it's going to be 4th and 10 instead of 4th and 5, but they drew up a great play there.
Yeah, Chris, that was a great showcase of, the ability of Matt Dykey, and where he's getting comfortable, on the run, throwing downfield, good play. If we can replicate that again in like a different way, that would be pristine, perfect for tonight, and hopefully get Rochester back in this game.
Yeah, it's certainly going to take that. It's going to take that right now, as a matter of fact. They're going to need to continue to extend this drive and then strike quickly because the time is just not in their favor. Adams is in the driver's seat on that side of things.
Jod is there, down on the ground for a little bit there. He's walking back up to the sidelines.
I want you to tell me a little bit about the not only the player that he is, but Matt Tepner is a guy that is doing everything for this team, offensively, defensively, but he's a multi-sport athlete.
Yeah, he's seen the end zone a lot, seen it once this game. He's making big defensive plays, but this is also his second sport. He's also committed to Michigan State to play baseball.
It's just a guy who gifted, loves competition, going to be suited up in the amazing green, or the green and white next year.
Yeah, and only 5'7", and he's playing a big role at linebacker here, which is something you don't see often.
Yeah, and at running back, and that's a sack here for Adams there on 4th down. They're going to lose 3 yards, and they're going to turn it over and now start with pretty good field position at the Rochester 46-yard line. So it's one of those things, just can't get this thing going, and now time is going to start being a factor here for Rochester.
Yeah, of course, the clock is always someone's worst enemy at days,
Sure. Yeah, that's exactly right.
We just have to try to, persevere, get through this slump, and just focus on the next drive, focus on the next play.
Yeah, it's one of those things, it's the game's not over. You still got to finish it out strong, and that's something I'm sure the coaching staff on the sideline is making very clear. There's still 10 minutes left in this game. We got to finish strong.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Adams back out on offense. Owen Ferris once again at quarterback. Calls for it, gets it, fakes it, now throws it, got a man far side with a block, out to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Adams. 46 yards. Couldn't draw it up any better. Matt Tepner to the house.
That's what he did week 1 against Romeo. It was about first play of the game. He had about 75 yards and gets that little screen, and he just jets up the sideline there.
Great block throwing up that far sideline, too. I think it was Brady Lindstrom who threw that block. But just a heck of a play. And just like that, Adams expands their lead. The extra point attempt is up and good. 31-3 now with 9:48 to play after that quick strike.
I think we'll see Rochester throwing it a lot. I mean, they're down 4 touchdowns with 10 minutes to go. I think they're going to try and make some big plays here.
Yeah, certainly going to have to throw the football. And that doesn't mean abandon the run game completely, but it does mean that you're going to have to start picking up some chunk yardage, keep that clock moving, or try to stop that clock as much as you can. You're going to try to utilize those sidelines as much as possible, get those first downs, whatever you can do to stop the clock.
Yeah, we definitely need to conserve time right now. Our O-line needs to give Dykey a little bit of a pocket some time, get our receivers down the field, get those big plays, get that set up for those big plays. And just, honestly, right now, to hope that we're able to put something together.
Like you said earlier, Grabke is still a safe option, though. I don't think he'll be seeing it this much on this drive, though.
WJR, Detroit.
All right, so here's the kick. That one's going to be fielded. Here's Grabke. Trying that left side out across the 20-yard line. Cut down shy of the 25, so that's where this drive will start things off for the Falcons. Chris Renwick, good to have you along with us Friday night under the lights here on WJR and our drive to the game, brought to you by sportscaster.com. Charlie Donahoe, the sophomore at Rochester Adams, up in the booth with me. Ethan Crow, the senior at Rochester. It's good to have both of them up here for an early season rivalry game. Love it. Under the lights, fans out here in droves. All right. Rochester's got to find a way offensively here. Here's a quick screen out to the flat. Take it out of bounds. Oh, check that. They're going to say he stayed inbounds. They're going to keep that clock rolling. Cut down at the 28-yard line. So pickup of 6 on the play brings up 2nd and 4. Got to get to the line. Clock's ticking, 9:06 here in the fourth. 2 receivers to the right. Matt Dykey to the shotgun, calls for it and gets it. Nice job going through the progressions there. He was looking over on the right side. He wanted Andrew Smith. Couldn't come down with it, but it was a good pass on time. Went through his progressions. That looked like his third option, and Smith just couldn't come down with it, but that was a good progression there from Dykey.
Dykey got a little bit more time in the pocket there. O-line did their job, and, he can throw the ball, it's just he's not getting a ton of opportunities because he's having to scramble, having to give it to Grabke.
Yeah, certainly a lot of pressure there. All right, 3 receivers to the right. 3rd and 4. Dykey, good throw that time. Got a man far side, out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. They'll move the sticks on the first down.
Yeah, right now, the wheels are starting to turn. This is what we need. This is, the start of a good drive.
I think that was Cole Murphy who hauled that one in. Empty set here for Matt Dykey. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Takes. Steps up, throws, got a man over the midfield stripe. That one's caught. Hauled in, Gale Cruz makes the catch at the 48-yard line of the Highlanders. First down, they move the sticks. Clock stops till they set them. Now they run the clock.
Dykey's looking a lot more comfortable in the pocket there. 2 good throws right there. He's playing like he's got nothing to lose, and they're marching downfield.
Dykey calls for it. Quick throw, incomplete. That time, looking again, far sideline. Cole Murphy that one slipped right through the mitts. Falls to the turf. Clock stops. 8:31. It's 2nd and 10. So they go a little heavier.
Yeah, right now it kind of looks like Adams is spreading out in the secondary, and I feel like this would be a great time to give Devin Grabke the ball.
There's a quick screen, trying to cut it upfield. Nothing doing there. Gain of maybe a yard, but it was just a little wide receiver screen. Nathan Tandy hauled it in. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Again, 4-down territory here for the Falcons. Clock continues to run, 8:01 to play. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Dykey calls for it, throws it, near side. That one is hauled in. Devin Grabke pulls it down, picks up enough for a first down, gets out of bounds, so the clock stops, 7:49. Two receivers right, 3 left. Dykey calls for it, gets it. Throws it over the middle, got a man. That's Tandy again. Pull it down at the 30-yard line.
Not too impressed here with Adams' defense. They're letting up these big plays. Well, about 15-yard gains there. Once Dykey started throwing it, there hasn't been a DB in sight.
Yeah, they're playing much more of a prevent style, not bringing a ton of heat. Almost seems like the Adams defense is pretty content with giving up these yards as long as they're not getting into the end zone. 7 minutes. Over the middle. Tandy again inside the 30.
Yeah, right now,
Dykey's first down.
Right now, Dykey's guy is Nate Tandy. You know, they seem to be on the same level right now, same wavelength, thinking with one mind, and just getting those major yards for Rochester right now.
Some late movement on the sticks on the far sideline. It's enough for a first down. Spotted at the 27-yard line. 3 receivers left. Got to move that thing. 6:29, Grabke in motion. They give it to him on the run. There's a flag that comes out. Couple pieces of laundry on the turf. Tried to just keep that run in the mix.
Looks like it's going to be against Adams on Luke Borowski.
Yeah, left side. So that's going to go against the Falcons, and that's going to come back.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate there because, you know, Grabke ran the ball up, got us a good amount of yards, and then we just pulled right back, you know, kind of demoralizing if you want to call it that. But, you know, right now I feel like Dykey is in a good spot with his throwing game, and we can get something down the field.
You just don't want to abandon the run completely. You want to keep that front 7 honest. Opens up some things over the top when you've got your receivers crossing. Or even over the top on some streaks down the sideline. So you got to keep that run in the mix. That time they got popped with a hold, and that'll hurt them. So it's first down and 20. Dykey calls for it, gets it, throws it far side. Nobody home. He was looking again for Cole Murphy, but that one just a little low and outside. So clock stops, 6 minutes on the nose. That ball's at the 37-yard line. And they're going to need some big chunk plays here. Again, it's 4-down territory, so you got some downs to play with. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Dykey takes, looking left, now rolling right, throwing, got a man at the 25-yard line. That one is caught, hauled in by one of the backup tight ends. So that clock continues to run. 5:37. 3rd and 8 now after a gain of 12. Dykey calls for it, looking left, rolling left. Got a little bit of space. Is he going to take it? Nope, he's going to throw it away. Had a little bit of space on that sideline. Not sure he would have been able to pick up the first down, but he had a little bit of room. He elected to just dump it away. Clock will stop, 5:23, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, time's definitely becoming a factor right now. We really got to get out of this area right now and get in the end zone, and then have a miracle play on defense with hopefully like a pick 6 or turnover, and then just get some numbers up on that board.
Yeah, got to get to the 17-yard line for a first down. Fourth and 8. 3 receivers left. Dykey calls for it. Looking that way. Got a little bit of time. This one Throws incomplete, nobody home. And this Adams defense holds again. And that's one of those situations there where Dykey first had a little bit of time, then that pocket was collapsing around him, so you start to feel that pressure build up. Had a couple receivers open or in that area, but kind of threw it in between. Didn't really get it to one or the other.
Yeah, you could definitely see Dykey getting a little jittery there.
Yeah, certainly.
And then kind of just overthrew that ball a little bit, which, I mean, for a sophomore quarterback, he's been playing pretty good tonight.
Certainly. Yeah, and at times the coverage has been pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like the protection has held up at times. And at other times, obviously, you credit Adams. They've been able to rush the passer pretty well tonight. Here's a give. Trying that right side. Oh, another little shifty move out to the 40. Still on his feet at the 50. And then finally dragged down at the 45-yard line. It's the first time we're seeing Alex Hiddle tonight. But that is a crafty little run.
Great run from Alex, breaking that tackle. He's also a sophomore, so it's a big jump for him.
Shed a couple of tacklers back just past the line of scrimmage, and then broke it for a big one into Falcons territory. Ball spotted at their 44. And now Adams certainly in the driver's seat. 4:47. Ferris gives up the middle. Good pressure there up front. Mick Alf, who's made a couple of nice plays tonight, gets his nose dirty on that one. Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9. .412. Ferris takes, gives on a little end around. Not a lot doing there. Fall forward for 2. Brings up 3rd down. Adams up 31-3 over Rochester. Just under 4 to play here in the 4th quarter.
I don't think we'll see much more throwing from Ferris. I think
it's a steady dose of runs. I think you're right.
Yeah, 4 minutes. The only thing they can't do is let up an interception, maybe even a pick 6. So, I mean, just run the clock out. There's not much time for Rochester, but pick 6 and a onside kick recovery could get them going.
Yeah, the Falcons really need to get something going here right now.
All right, 3rd and 7. Here's the motion man. Quick give. And just staying on his feet enough for a 1st down. Once again, Alex Hiddle on the carry. So what are you looking forward to in your sophomore year? What's something that you're excited for, you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to getting to drive. I mean, that's probably the best part of sophomore year. It's been a fun year so far, and I'm really excited for Adams' playoff run. I think they're going to go deep again this year.
Very cool. How about you? You know, what's on tap? What are you looking forward to?
I'm really excited for college applications. You know, graduating.
Yep.
Kind of being done. You know, onto the next chapter of my life.
Well,
but,
you've got president of student council. You're busy.
Yeah, I'm busy. I got a lot of stuff going on, and you know, I'm really excited for this year's lacrosse season. The team is looking pretty good right now.
Awesome. All right. Here's a give up the middle. Picking up a yard. Oh, they're going to give him a couple. Able to squirt through for 3. Maybe 4. Not a bad run there. Again, Hill on the carry. But a great night tonight. Certainly the weather was beautiful. Was wondering how windy it was going to be. Hadn't really played a factor. It was mostly pretty calm throughout much of this game tonight.
Yeah. Forecast said it was going to be pretty windy, but I mean, I'm not feeling much up here.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really rocking with like the 60 degrees, you know.
It's
no sun, no heat.
It's a good vibe. It's a good time of year. It's football weather.
100%.
It is football weather. All right, so that clock's going to continue to run under 2 minutes. Thank you to our engineers, Ray Templin, Dave Rieger down on the field with our friends over at sportscaster.com. Appreciate you. Dominic back at our studio. Heck of a way to spend a Friday night here in the great state of Michigan, Metro Detroit, taking in some rivalry high school football. Here's another give up the middle, pushing forward. Looks like very close to a first down. Might be just a hair shy. And they're going to call it 4th down. So that clock's going to continue to run 1:11 on it. The ball spotted at that 20. So it looks like coaching staff may just run this clock down. Oh, nope, they're going to hit to the line. So it's 4th and 1. Here's the give and the first down out to the 15-yard line. And that should just about do it. Highlanders don't have to run another play. See if they keep things there on the field. Looks like they will. So a rivalry game early in the season. Certainly the Falcons kept things really competitive through those first 2 quarters, and then things were all Rochester Adams after that. A final here from Rochester Adams. It's the Highlanders 31 and the Falcons 3. Charlie, it's been fun. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me out here. It's been a great game.
Of course. Ethan, congratulations on your senior year. Well done. And thanks for coming out. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. It's been a great time.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you. Big game. It's been all Rochester Adams. 31-3. That's going to do it for us. I'm Chris Renwick saying so long. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and we will catch you next week on our drive to the game here on WJR. See ya.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports? Sportscaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. Sportscaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. Sportscaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands.
Friday Night Football on WJR is all about tradition, pride, and supporting our local schools. And at Window World, we believe in those same values. Whether it's windows, siding, doors, or gutters, families across Michigan trust us to deliver quality and value. And just like these athletes give it their all every week, Window World gives our best with lifetime warranties and financing options. So as you cheer on your hometown team, remember, when it's time to upgrade your home, call 800-WINDOW-WORLD, visit windowworlddetroit.com, or stop by our showroom in Commerce.
Start strong with a Fox News Rundown. Weekdays 5 to 6 a.m. on 760 WJR. Get the latest headlines, sharp analysis, and stories that make a difference.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com. The best electrical contractors, period. The National Electrical Contractors Association of Southeastern Michigan member contractors are the best in the business, providing electrical and telecommunication services throughout the region for commercial, public, industrial, and residential projects. NECA contractors have been powering and connecting Southeastern Michigan for over 100 years. And they're proud supporters of the communities where they work and live. Put their experience and expertise to work for you. Find a NECA contractor at smcneca.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the postgame here on Drive to the Game. Drive to the Game brought to you by Sportscaster.com in partnership with WJR. It is the Rochester Adams Highlanders continuing their winning streak over their crosstown rival, Rochester High School, with a final score of 31-3. My name is Giovanni Mosheri. I am joined here by Taryn Fritching, while our other sportscaster all-stars joining us on this broadcast are fetching some player interviews that we'll have here later in the broadcast. The stream will continue here on our YouTube channel as well as Sportscaster.com. we'll be getting out of here at 9:30. Get you ready for Mark Levin on WJR. But Taryn, the second half of this game was all Highlanders. Where in contrast to the first half, there was a lot of competitiveness with Rochester High. What changed in the second half?
I mean, hey, I was saying this at halftime with how the first half did not go as Adams was obviously hoping and expecting. I think they just had to take a step back and be like, what is happening and what can we do to improve this? Because that was not the Adams we thought we were going to see in the first half. We thought we were going to see much more of a lead on Rochester, and ultimately they ended up getting it done. But I mean, hey, I would assume that they stepped back and just was like, what are we going to do?
Of course, here, and it was a great win for the Highlanders. Joining us here on the broadcast, slapping the headset on while still clad in the pads, it is number 5, Matt Topner, a 3-touchdown score today for the Highlanders. Matt, thank you for joining us in the broadcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So I'll put it flatly, 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty good, right? How
Thank
you
you.
feeling?
Thank you. It was it was definitely great to do that against our crosstown rivals, and we're just ready for next week.
Okay, I got to ask, because I was making speculations when you came here, but when it was 10-3 at halftime and you guys went to your locker room, what was the morale like in the locker room?
I think we just came out too confident. We let it get to our heads. We knew we messed up, so we got to the locker room, fixed our assignments, and came back to work the second half.
And then early in the first half, Ryland Waters came out onto the sideline here, and Nolan Francis came in his stead here. And, from last year we saw that he kept the things afloat here. And for you guys, like, how do you respond to having your starting quarterback go down and still be able to play this way?
Yeah, it's Ferris, Nolan Ferris.
Or excuse me, Ferris.
And, same thing happened last year. He knows what he's doing. He steps up really well, and we were very confident when he got on the field.
And then just talk to me about the rivalry itself. You guys play Rochester every year. You guys are a 10-minute drive from each other. What about this rivalry is so special, worthy of playing in every year?
I guess all these guys, we grew up together, so playing on the field is pretty cool to know all each other, know us personally. And it's always fun to come out and play your boys and get after it, whether you're beefing or not on the field.
And now joining us on the broadcast here is the aforementioned quarterback, number 12, Nolan Francis, who stepped in the stead.
Ferris.
Nolan Ferris,
Yep.
Excuse me.
You're good.
That's
good.
That's 0 for 2 for me.
You're good.
But thank you for joining us on the broadcast.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
So stepping in the middle of the first quarter, not exactly what had planned, but you had experience with this last year, so it was just like riding a bike, right?
Yeah, I mean, prayers for Rhino, obviously. Hopefully it's not the same thing as last year. Hopefully he can get back on the field soon. But, I know what I'm doing. We did same plays last year, just got in, handed the ball to my guys, and they went to work. So.
And we talked to Matt about the rivalry, and I want to get your perspective on it. To have your crosstown rivals growing up with each other, why is this game so special?
Well, yeah, like Matt said, I mean, we grew up with these kids, playing Redskins, now known as Raiders. We've always known them. There's some beef, they like to talk their talk. It's back and forth, whatever. I just like that the community's all here, supporting. Parking lot's full. Can't ask for much more on a Friday night.
I got to ask, who do you guys play next week?
West Bloomfield.
West Bloomfield. Okay, so another OA Red matchup. How are you guys going to prepare for that after coming off of a win against Rochester?
I mean, same thing week after week. We watch the tape, we see what they do on defense or offense, and coaches get us right. They prepare us, they show us what we do, demo O, demo D. They get us right, and we come out prepared.
Yeah, we know these next few games coming up are going to be the toughest of the season, so we really got to be mentally prepared and just have a good weeks of practice and get ready for these next few weeks.
I agree.
I appreciate you guys joining us here. A 31-3 victory over the Rochester Falcons. A lot of familiarity and a lot of camaraderie throughout the two schools, and obviously for you guys as the Highlanders with each other's team. You guys got a bright future. We're looking forward to watching you guys this season. I appreciate you guys joining the broadcast.
Thanks for having us.
Number 5, Matt Topner, as well as number 12, Nolan Francis, joining the broadcast, as well as fans and coaches of the Rochester Adams Highlanders. Fellas, thank you for joining us here at WJR.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you for having us.
All right.
And don't forget to tune in to sportscaster.com. We got a whole lot coming up for Drive to the Game. Our Week 3 will see us traveling all the way over as Southfield A&T will be taking on Stony Creek at 7 o'clock Friday night, September 12th. You can tune in right here on WJR or on our YouTube channel, Sportscaster. Sportscaster Media, as well as our website, sportscaster.com. In addition to that, tomorrow night on WJR, Saturday, September 6th, Michigan State takes on Boston College, and we'll have the coverage here. So be sure to tune into that. I want to thank our broadcast team for helping us put this all together. Ray Templin, Dave Rieger, and Chris Renwick from our WJR side. Our sportscaster team, Mark Pastoria, Jeff Sloan, Kristen Kujawa, and Steve Adams. And I want to thank our student broadcasters, Gabe Loper, Taryn Fritching, Charlie Donahoe, Harper, Mish, and Ethan Crow for joining us here. And that'll take us off here on WJR. We'll keep things going here on the stream as we have our interview with our student broadcasters, so be sure to tune into there to get the rest of this interview. But until then, Mark Levin on WJR will take you the rest of the evening. So thank you very much for watching and listening, folks, here to Drive to the Game. We'll be back here next Friday. And now that we're just here on the stream, the radio feed has cut off here. I am joined by all of our student broadcasters, both from Rochester High School and from the Rochester Adams side. And I'll start with you. And of course, we've had a lot of conversation here for Harper. So just overall, your first broadcast experience, we'll go down the table with this as well. How was your first broadcast?
It was so much fun. I had a great time. Broadcasting is something that I've been looking into for a career, so this was just so cool to be able to experience it for the first time. And also just like the energy from the producers, I guess, like just being here and being with everyone was just so much fun. And you guys were just so welcoming, so it was great.
I thought it was super cool. I mean, Adams played great with the 31-3 win, and go Highlanders.
And that was Charlie Donahoe and now Ethan Crow here. How was your experience here, also from the Rochester side?
Yeah, so it was a ton of fun, for what I want to study next year. I was thinking engineering, following my mom, following my brother in that route. But, tonight really made me, think about that option and think about, maybe like studying something in broadcasting. It was a great night. I want to thank you guys for having me out today. It was a ton of fun.
Well, I appreciate you guys staying on here. I'm not fishing for thank yous either, but we appreciate it here on sportscaster.com here. And to wrap things up here, your kind of final thoughts on the game itself and how the season will go throughout the, how you project the season to go throughout. We'll start with the Rochester Falcons side. So for both Harper and for Ethan, what do you guys think the Falcons are going to do this season?
I feel like we can definitely make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. I feel like the rest of the season is going to be pretty solid, pretty good. We were able to see, maybe a few gaps in our play today, and I feel like coaches are going to address that quickly, and we're going to bounce back really quick.
And on the OAA Reds side, the Adams Highlanders coming into this game, consensus top 20 team in the state. Some would say all the way at number 8 team in the state. But for Charlie, what do you think the Highlanders are going to be able to do this season?
I think last season they made a very deep run with Nolan Ferris after Rhino was out, and I think they're going to be able to do that same thing again. They made it to the Final Four last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go even further this year.
So a lot of promise on both sides here and bright futures for our student broadcasters as well. I want to thank all of you for joining me on the broadcast today as we wrap up here on week 2 of Drive to the Game. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
And one final thank you to all of our broadcast team. On the WJR side, thank you to Ray Templin, Dave Rieger, and Chris Renwick. On our sportscaster team, Mark Pastoria, Jeff Sloan, Kristen Kujawa, and Steve Adams, thank you very much. And to our student broadcasters, Gabe Loper and Taryn Fritching, along with our Charlie Harper and Ethan. Thank you, everybody, and especially you, the fans, for tuning in to Drive to the Game. We'll be here next Friday as Southfield A&M will take Southfield A&T. We'll be taking on Stony Creek. We'll have the game here pregame at 6:50. Mark your calendars for Friday, September 12th. My name is Giovanni Moshere. Happy to have you with us, and we'll see you next week here on WJR Sportscaster.com.